Hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Wednesday, February 12th. Yeah, baby. All day. Stepped out to 11 degrees this morning. 11. That was a good time. That was a good time. Dogs always want to go out when it's the coldest. Well, not Tuck. He just prefers to stay inside. So how we doing, guys? Give me a 1 to 10 on how you doing today. We'll get the Facebooks pulled up here in a second. See how we're doing on the Insta. Yeah, up early today. Don't know what that's all about. Maybe it's a big day. Maybe it's because it's a big day. We've got the follow-up first appointment today to check out the hip. Check that out and see how Wendy's doing, get the bandage off and all that stuff. So pretty excited about that, being part of that. Take her to that appointment and make sure that everything goes well, because I know a lot about all that stuff. They'll probably ask me to consult, I'm sure. Dave Brackett, good morning. Don't tell me the temperature down there, but I know you're an 8. Josh Baker's here. He's an 8. Wendy's always a 10 in my book. Yeah, so see who's jumping on here. Matt Blood is watching. Yeah, Matt Blood's son had a heck of a swim meet last night, so he was just telling me about it. So that's good to hear. I love it when people's kids are kicking ass, taking names. I can't help but think it can be because the parents do as well. So they're watching, guys. They're watching. So Matt, good for you, and congrats to Nate. That's awesome. So yeah. So hey, up around 2:30, got back to sleep. Threw in the towel around 4. That yielded a 58 on the sleep score today, but you're never gonna know it. Had to drop an extra one of these on today and switch to the Nespresso machine, full straight IV caffeine coming at you right now. She said she's at 12. Damn, I'll teach you all the tricks. That's right. We're gonna upgrade Wendy to a 12. Dave Spurko is watching. Good to see you, my friend. But yeah, 58 on the sleep score. That's not good. That ain't good. That ain't good. Got a lot to do today. Got some coaching calls, shooting a podcast. I shot a podcast with Jacob Godar last week or the week before. Just posted it this week. We had some technical difficulties, so he actually recorded it, sent it to me. But I just posted it up today, and check it out. He's an entrepreneur. He's down in Florida. Had a bad motorcycle crash. He's a dirt bike guy, motocross guy, and he's a dad. But he also in the same year did an Ironman. So good podcast. Badass MFer. Speaking of badass MFers, Tony Ruffin just jumped on. Good to see you. Yeah, Josh, check it out. It's a good one. And we're gonna flip the script today, and I'm gonna be on his podcast. So that'll be coming out sometime, probably in the next week or two. So in other news, exciting news today, they're gonna drop 250 of my book. 250 copies of my book on my doorstep today, according to UPS, sometime around 11 a.m., which is cool, which is a giant exhale for me to be able to just get to that level where it actually arrived. It's been a lot of early mornings, a lot of work, a lot of learning, really. I thought I was a pretty good writer and felt and realized I was a pretty good storyteller. The writing left a little bit to be desired, according to the editors. So once I scratched my ego back together, I got back at it and got that thing done. Danielle, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. We're going to talk more business stuff again today, guys. I know, super exciting, right? We'll get back. We'll hit some mindset stuff next week, kick you guys in the ass a little bit. But I wanted to continue on the path I've been on this week, which is getting out of your own way and doing the things. If you want to grow to 1.5, do the things that you're going to be doing when you get there. And understanding that at 500K or whatever your number is, 200K, what got you here won't get you there. Okay. Some of the same themes I've been talking about this week. But today I wanted to talk about being profitable and not just busy. You ever ask somebody, how you doing? Oh, busy. They don't have a clue what's going on. Right? They're just busy. Somebody else is managing their day. right? Their calendar. They're not time blocking. They're not on the offensive. They're just on the ropes, just throwing punches, right? Jab, 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 right? So let's talk today about why more jobs and more work really doesn't always mean more money. Bigger isn't always better. Take it from me. I've been a more and more and more and more guy, but never at times never realized why. Hey, you want to scale? Hey, you got to scale. If you talk to anybody in the personal development world, business development world, they're going, hey, you got to get bigger. You got to grow. Why? I know guys that make $500,000, but gross sales are, just over $1 million. And they take home that. I've got a client that pulls 350 and he's doing 1.2. When I say pulls 350, that means to his own checking account. Okay. So there are people out there doing it. Ben Sinclair, good to see you. Thanks for jumping on. Yeah. So it can be done. Right. But I'll ask you this. Do you ever feel like you're just working harder than ever, taking on more jobs? Because that's just the thing. Hey, we've got to take it now. We don't know. Things might tighten up. But somehow your bank account just doesn't reflect it. What most contractors, not just as to what most entrepreneurs get wrong, they think more jobs equals more money. It's not. It may equal more money cycling through the business, but are you focused on how much you keep? So saying yes to everything instead of being strategic about which jobs to take is a mistake. You can say no. Learn to say no. Learn to say, I wish I could. Good morning, Dave Howard. Good to see you. I think maybe he said that already, but anyway, he's one of our regulars. So running thin profit margins is another mistake most people make. All right. Making less money while working more hours. So let's talk today about how to get you guys more profitable, not just stay busy, right? So I'd like you to answer when somebody says, how's it going? Answer profitably. Thank you. What profit is? I heard Tom Reber say this the other night. Profit's not a 4-letter word for a reason, right? 3 hours of sleep, Dave says. Up early. Well, you got me beat. I maybe got 4. I haven't looked at the tracker that closely, only enough to see that it was a 58. So that cycle, guys, that more isn't always better cycle looks like this. You book more jobs and increase revenue, right? You get slammed with work, you get overwhelmed. Margins get thinner because you stretch too thin. More stress, more chaos, less sleep, no financial gain, rinse and repeat. And hey, we're a business owner, right? We're knocking it down. We're the deep pocket contractor, right? Speaking of deep pockets, Roy Dahl just jumped on. Good to see you. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, strategery. Yeah, so at that 500K level and below, you're taking any job instead of the right job because you're coming from that place of scarcity. Like, hey, we got to eat next week. We don't know when we're going to not get a job. The other thing is not knowing your true profit margins before saying yes. Not every job's the right job. Some of the best jobs are the ones you don't do. And stop thinking busyness equals success. It doesn't. It just doesn't. Justin, Katie, how are you doing? Good to see you. So how do we fix that? How do we break that cycle? We measure profit per job, not just total revenue. Don't get drunk on zeros, right? I've done some big jobs. Some of my biggest jobs I made the least money on. How do you figure, right? Shit gets crazy. A small problem is going to be when you grow that top line revenue, that small problem is going to grow exponentially and be a big problem. Don't be afraid to raise your prices or say no to low budget work. It's okay. Well, it's not a fit for us. Focus on jobs that bring you higher returns with less stress. Good to see you, Justin. I'm glad you're doing well. How do you spot these jobs? They're unprofitable. They're out there. They linger. They look great, right? They look great. Hey, this is going to be great homeowner, good project, but if it has some of these traits, proceed with caution. High labor, low margins. High labor demand, low margins. It requires too much manpower with little profit. That's a bad one. Okay. How about scope creep potential? We'll handle that down the road, right? Maybe some vague expectations. We're not clear on the scope. That'll eat your lunch. How about difficult clients? You know the ones, the micromanagers, the slow payers, the ones that undervalue your expertise. Guys, and again, this isn't just contracting, guys. This can go to anything. How about this? Yeah, I was going to do it myself, but When you hear that, you're like, okay, this person doesn't value what I do. How about another one? Too much competition. If the only way to win is by cutting your price, you're already losing. You've already lost. And then there's the cash flow killers, jobs where you don't get paid quite quickly enough to cover your cost. You can solve that with a pretty aggressive payment schedule. I can help you with that. So before you say yes to those potential jobs that are potentially draining, set a minimum profit number for every project. Hey, we're not going to wade into this unless we can make X. And it could be a percentage, or you can be like, okay, I know I'm going to make X amount of profit dollars on this. I'm okay with that. I know the effort that goes into it, but at least have that dialogue with yourself. Yeah, we're all collecting estimates. Yeah, we're collecting estimates. Yeah. Insurance company told me I need to talk to 3 of you guys. You come over on Saturday and give me a quote. Break that down 3 ways. Yeah, I love it. And I need that by Monday. Right. How about pre-qualifying the clients? Goes along with what Josh was saying. If they're if you hear, hey, I'm collecting estimates, or people that don't see the value in the quality you bring to the table. People that are just looking at price. Okay. And you can always negotiate better payment terms, improve that cash flow, stay ahead of it. Don't finance people's projects. I can only meet at 6 p.m. Yeah. I like the one where we had one once, I don't think I ever met the husband. He was a very high level emergency room surgeon, or whatever you call it, a ER doc, right? And we never met him. So at some point I'm like, hey, are we gonna meet Andrew here? And then ultimately didn't do that job. Wasted a ton of time. Excuse me. Andrew dropped the hammer on it once he realized what it cost. So let's talk about the 80-20 rule for revenue growth. Work smarter, not harder. Why 20% of your jobs drive 80% of your profits? So most businesses make the majority of their money from a small percentage of their customers. I always enjoyed working for people that we had worked for before, because I knew we had a track record with them. They knew us, we knew them, right? 80% of headaches come from the wrong jobs. 80% of the profits come from the right jobs. Yeah, Josh said, just slide that deposit check back and trust your trained gut. Right. And guys, you're going to eat next week, okay? Don't be pricing stuff and quoting stuff from this place of scarcity where you got to have all the jobs. Not all the jobs are great. Again, some common mistakes under this 80-20 rule are taking small, high-maintenance jobs that eat up time. And if you think about it, on the contracting vein here, a small bathroom, a powder room, just has all the same subs that an addition has, save for concrete and site work. Pretty much. Got a painter, got a trim guy, got a framer, got a demo, all the same stuff. So look at that closely, making sure it's not a high-maintenance job. Overcommitting instead of doubling down on what works. Why are we overcommitting? Saying yes too often. And not being able to determine which customers are the most profitable. How do you fix that? How do you have a 1.5 mind? Analyze the past jobs. See which ones have worked the best for you. Which ones were the least stressful? Who's your ideal client? Which clients do you work the best with? Double down on your most profitable client type. I say double down. Increase your marketing in that area, right? Focus on that. Let people know. Scream about it on your social media. An ideal client for us is XYZ. And then create a referral system that attracts the best customers, not just any customer. Reward people that refer you. Do you have a referral program? So how to shift from busy to profitable is my next point I wanted to make. Starting today, we're no longer busy. We're going to say no to low margin work. Define your minimum job size and your target profit per job. Don't be afraid to turn down the wrong clients. They cost you more than they're worth. We had a funny one. I don't know if my dad's on here or not, but we had a funny one. We were going through a house one time and it was just getting worse and worse. And the lady was saying, well, you're not going to add profit to every little door and piece of trim that you buy, are you? And my dad said, yeah, we are. Unfortunately, we need to do that. We're running a business. And he waited until we were in the basement to stick his hand out and go, I don't think we're a good fit. Boy, wasn't she mad. And I said, you couldn't have waited till we were in the driveway to say that so we could just get in the truck and leave. We had to walk up a couple of flights of stairs just to get out of the house. So, don't be afraid to turn down those wrong clients. It's easier to have a hard conversation on the early side than it is to try to put something back together later, right? Tony Bataille, how you doing, buddy? I think you're in Maine, aren't you? Where are you? You're on a pond ice fishing somewhere, I think. Charge for your value, not just your labor. Charge for the value, not just your labor. Stop competing on price. Differentiate yourself through quality and reliability. People will pay for it. Raise your rates so you do fewer jobs at a higher profit. It's all numbers. I don't know if you heard that story or not. I told that. He just jumped on. And then streamline your operations. Use better systems and processes to increase efficiency. Delegate non-essential work so you can focus on growth. Bang. That's getting you out of your chair. Delegate that non-essential work. Who, not how. We talked about that yesterday, right? Nice. So up in the Augusta, Belgrade area, right, Tony? That's great. Good job. An out-of-stater that knows where to fish in Maine. You don't see that very often. Yeah, so some final thoughts. Profit over volume. Always, 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 always. It doesn't matter. I went through 2008 and 9 and those times, and yeah, you have to make adjustments. Had to jump back in the field. Had to, not use as many carpenter subs. Sure, had to throw the tool belt back on. Don't be afraid to adjust. But always be looking at profit over volume. It's not about how many jobs you do, guys. It's about how much you keep, how much money you keep. Steve Shinholzer asked me that one time. He says, hey, how much money you make? I said, well, I think we'll do about $1 million this year. He said, yeah, that sounds great, but how much do you keep? So take a look at how much you're keeping, because this isn't like Publishers Clearinghouse. We're not just putting $1.5 million through the checking account and being the last person in the world that gets paid. And the real shame is sometimes it's less than you could make at a 9-to-5 W-2 with a shit ton less risk. At $1.5 million, you need to run a smarter business, not just a busier one. People need to have roles. Jason Rector says, good morning, Mr. Turner. Thank God for Bobby Turner. Yeah, usually people know me more than 30 years if they call me Bobby, but it's also people that I know love me, so I don't mind it. As long as they're calling me something, it means I'm around. And Jason's a good dude down in middle Florida area. So, yeah. So trying to get him to come up for our event. So, guys, if you keep saying yes to every job, you're going to stay stuck. It's time to get strategic about what you're doing, what you're taking on for work, and why. You should be able to go right down through your estimate and say, yep, this is a good job because X, Y, and Z. Eliminate those variables. Reach out to your subs and lock down those big numbers, those big movers, the plumber, the electrician, the framer, building materials. There's no need to close the office door and get the dartboard out. Central Florida. Thanks, Jason. Yeah. All right. If this hits home and you're tired of being busy without making real money, DM me. DM me profit. Let's talk about it. Love to be able to help you. This is a quick blueprint I've put in front of you. If you want to really build something out for your business, I'd love to help you. Get on the phone with me. Let's do it. I've a couple of times have traveled to people's business and just take the day with them and pour over everything and figure out what they're doing and why they're doing it. And I bet if I came into your place and fired questions at you for the day, we'd come up with a few ways you could be more profitable. Greg DeSilva, good to see you. Guys, if you enjoyed this, please share it. I'd love to get more people on. My goal has always been to help as many people as possible. For you guys that jumped on late, 250 copies of my book is going to land on my doorsteps today at around 11 o'clock. I can't wait. So tomorrow I'll have them fanned out here for you like playing cards. Everybody that comes to our event on February 22nd, which is a week from Saturday, will be getting a copy of the book in their swag bag. So if for no other reason to travel miles and miles and miles, do it to get the book. We hope you can come buy a ticket. We'll put the link in the comments, all that stuff. If you were at our event last year, please post in the chat, hey, what you thought about it. If someone's on the fence, give me a call, send me a message, DM me. If it's a financial hurdle, let me know and we'll figure something out. We want you in the room. You don't have to be a contractor. You don't even have to be a business owner. You just have to be someone that's looking to level up at business or life, and be around people that want you to win. Also, don't forget to join our free community on Skool, SKOOL. Download the app. Get on there. We got over 120 people in there now. We post good stuff in there every day. So we're working at it. We're turning the screws here and getting busy with the coaching stuff and delivering content to you. This is day, 47 or 8 in a row. Like I said, live every day, being consistent. Tomorrow, 7:30. So Jason, pay attention. You missed this last week. He's like, hey, did I miss the time? I do 7:30 on Thursdays because I have a coaching call at 8. So, but every other day of the week, 8 o'clock is the time. And if you guys don't see me, it means I got run over by a truck or something. I'm pretty consistent. So I appreciate you all. Share this out. Okay. I'll challenge you to share this with one person today and say, hey, I was listening to this guy flap his gums about business and life today. I think you ought to hear it. Okay. And again, like I said, we got a podcast I just posted out today with Jacob Godar. He's a good dude. He's a badass. Literally crushed all his bones, hip, leg, everything. And I don't know that it was even 6 months later he finished an Ironman. So I had to have him on the podcast. Because he's just a good dude and a good dad. And he and I align on a lot of stuff. So that's out today. It's on my Facebook page. Dial it up. Listen to the Summit podcast. You can catch it there on YouTube. You can also get it on Apple Podcasts. So anyway, post in the chat how you like this today. Again, please share it. I'm going to try to get out of here a little bit earlier today, 21 and a half minutes or so. We've been pushing 30 minutes, but when you guys get on and you interact, I like to stay and have some fun with you. So anyway, have a great day. Make someone's day today, guys. Do good things. Do the hard stuff. It's Wednesday, hump day, right? We're turning the corner on the week. You should be well into the things that you need to handle. All right. Pick something that's challenging today and knock it out. Post it in the group. Invite your friends. Let's grow this community. All right. Talk to you soon. Take care.